Being a chronicle overthinker is tiring. Having your brain remind you of all the possible outcomes all the time is so stressful. And it's definitely not helpful when exam season is here. And no matter what I do, it always seems to happen. When exams are coming, my brain cannot stop ruminating on everything that can go wrong. And the negative self-talk begins.
Good morning, guys. Time for breakfast. But first, AG Wine, the sponsor of this video. I'm kidding. No. I actually don't mind the taste at all. But today for breakfast, we're actually having something very fun. Recently, my air fryer broke, so I had to order a new one. So I couldn't try these desserts I've tried over my TikTok. But we have a matcha cake and a lemon tart, which are so good, you guys, but we're putting it on top of our yogurt because you know I love my weird food combos. Today is one day before my exam and I'm very nervous. Today is gonna be a bunch of studying, I guess. I could have done so much more. Also, this orange is huge and I'm loving it. Yeah, I couldn't put everything on top, but I'm gonna eat everything. It's just I'm just feeling a bit lost. But now let's go and enjoy breakfast, I guess, before we make more of a mess. So after that delicious breakfast, I'm gonna prepare breakfast for tomorrow because I have an early exam. So yeah, I'm just gonna do some overnight oats and hopefully that gives me enough energy to get through the 3.5 hour exam. I'm honestly so overwhelmed right now.
The exam season personally brings a lot of bad memories. It was only a few years back where my grades would dictate how worthy I saw myself. I basically saw the numbers on my report card as a way to quantify my value. If I didn't get an A or close to 100%, then I was failing. Today, I've become a lot better at not attaching my worth to the numbers I saw on a paper. But it doesn't mean that I still don't overthink it when it comes to exam season. I often always feel unprepared, like I've not studied enough, and that throughout the year I have just wasted my time. I feel like others have put so much more effort than I have, and that all that I have been doing this year is basically not enough to get me through the exam. My brain tends to ruminate a lot about things I could have done, like instead of reading a book, I could have been so much more productive if I read one of the recommended readings for my politics class. Or instead of cooking so much, why didn't I focus more on doing more economic problems? If I had done all of that, obviously I would be more prepared. Then I wouldn't have to do all the preparations last minute. And the thing is, this constant overthinking doesn't help at all because it makes me freeze on the spot. I find myself staring at the wall and just not even studying because I freeze on the spot. I concentrate so much on all the thoughts that are incoming and I forget to actually start doing. And that is what overthinking does. It makes us forget about the wonderful things that we did get to do. But it also makes us get stuck in place by trying to predict all the negative things that can happen in the future, that we forget to live in the moment. I just finished dinner. Yeah, now I'm just gonna wash my dishes and then go to sleep because it's almost 11 and tomorrow we have an exam. Why do I feel like I've already failed the exam? That's a good question. Let's just go to sleep and I guess tomorrow we just have to try our best. We can do this. It's exam day. The night before my first exam, I was feeling so anxious. And despite it being my second year, where I kind of already knew what to expect somehow, I went into the exam room already with a negative mindset. I didn't even enjoy my lunch. I had planned to go to a little cafe to have my lunch to celebrate my first exam. But then everything went south and I felt unmotivated, down, and like a complete failure. It had gone bad. And despite the system failure that happened during my exam, which was pretty much out of my control, somehow I still attached the blame to myself. And what was most ironic was that my brain had actually never pictured this could happen to me. And out of all the bad outcomes, somehow this seemed worse because it was real. It had just happened. And this did almost ruin my whole day because after the exam, I literally just wanted to go to my room and cry. I didn't want to cook, I didn't want to study, and I barely wanted to talk to my dad. But I chose not to let it ruin the rest of my day.
So yeah, that exam went shit. So what happened was that essentially my computer kind of crashed and then I was locked out of the system. I couldn't come back in and I still had time left. The invigilator didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. So basically I couldn't finish my exam. Honestly, I feel frustrated and I just feel like it's my fault. And I know it's not my fault, but I mean, I've had time to process it. I'm a bit better now, especially after just having some fun cooking. And then I also got some editing done. I mean, I've been prioritizing my studies, so I couldn't really finish it for today. Essentially, I had this idea that I was gonna upload today as well, and I haven't done that. Yeah, I just feel like I've done essentially nothing today. But I did post a TikTok, so at least I got that done. Yeah, lately I've just not been having the best of days. I know that there's better things to come. Yeah, right now I feel like shit. It's okay that I feel like that, but I'm not gonna let it affect me, or at least try to. I had a really nice talk with my dad. Moments like this I miss my parents and my family in general actually. But hopefully this can be resolved. This event says nothing about me, you know. It says nothing about if I have value or not. I've come to a place where I've learned to kind of distance myself from that. So this just comes to show that, you know, I've made progress and I should be proud of that. And hopefully this can show you guys that it sometimes appears like we've not done any progress at all, but in reality we've actually grown so much. But you know, there's still work there, but we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Tomorrow's a new day, a new month actually as well. Let's just start from there. Good night, guys, and thank you for following me on this journey.
Old me would have been down for days, but new me knew that this was not the solution. What had happened was in the past, and now all I could do is try my best not to let it happen again for the next exam, which was gonna happen in around 2 weeks. And that instead of letting my mind overthink everything that could happen now, all I could do was focus on studying as much as I could to go into that exam room as prepared as I could feel. Because something I've learned is that I will never feel 100% prepared. And I think none of us can. My parents always ask me before an exam if I feel prepared, if I feel ready to give my best. And I always say no. But I asked my mom recently why they keep asking me that if they already know the answer. And she told me that she hoped that one day I would realize that it's not about being prepared or even feeling prepared, but it's instead of going into the exam room with a mindset of giving your best and not to let our minds interfere with that. Guys, we got the goodies. I'm so excited to try this. But I love Hera. Hera is the best. Anyways, let's open this and have lunch because it's quite late. We had to wait until 2. Let's try this baby. Love it. Oh, I wish I could buy it again. I mean, it was free, so this just made my day.
So basically this week we have 2 exams. I'm gonna meal prep my overnight oats for 2 exams because they are in the morning and I have to take breakfast with me. Oh, I look like a mess. Not excited for exams at all.
I didn't really understand what she meant at first, but after a while, once I really started reflecting on what she said, I began to understand what she was trying to tell me and why she kept asking that question. She hoped that I would realize that it's all about mindset, that I shouldn't let my head fill me with negative self talk and allow that to carry me on during an exam. That during the exam, I had to focus instead on giving my best. And I wouldn't be able to do that if all I was thinking was about all the problems that could happen at that moment. And the same thing when we're studying. If I was constantly overthinking about future problems and getting anxious about things that still hadn't happened, then I couldn't concentrate on trying to recall the things that I needed for the exam. I couldn't study properly because my mind was elsewhere. The negative self talk I was giving myself was not helping anyone, and especially not me. Doing good in an exam had nothing to do with luck, but the mindset I went into it was what was most important.
Good night, guys. Tomorrow is exam day. Wish me luck. Good morning. Today is exam day. Can't kill me. Wish me luck, I guess. I finished my exam. That was 3 hours and 30 minutes of my life. I'm not getting back. My brain is...
I'm fine!
Now it's time to have some lunch and to go somewhere very special. I mean, it went better than last time. The system didn't crash, so let's stay positive. All about mindset. Now it's a little bit of relaxing to study for tomorrow's exam. I love my student life.
For the second exam, despite me having one the next day, I decided to take myself out on a little trip to a bread festival because if you know me, you know I'm obsessed with bread. I mean, I basically have a sandwich for lunch every single day. Cooking and baking is my passion at this point, and I love having the opportunity to share that with you guys. And actually, this summer, I plan to experiment even more with baking because I really want to take my skills to the next level. I would love to share with you guys. So let me know in the comments if you guys would like to see more content related to cooking and baking. I always have so much fun when I record those. And now during summer, where I'm gonna have more time, I would love to maybe shift a bit of my content to more cooking and baking related content. And I would love to know your guys' opinion on that. So please let me know if that is something you would enjoy. Because I am overthinking it a bit. I'm a bit torn between making such content and continuing to give you guys some motivational content as well. I still have to find a way to kind of bring those together because in the end, all I want to truly do is to help you guys and support you in any way I can and share my different passions and hobbies with you too.
We did it, guys! 3 out of 4, only 1 to go. My brain is dead. After 2 exams, literally cannot explain how I feel. But yeah, now let's go have lunch while we have a little walk to clear our head, you know. I literally cannot sit still more than like 30 minutes. So times this by 7, and that's how long my exam is. Tired, but feeling a bit accomplished. So yeah, I guess that's good.
After finishing my last exam, I actually realized the importance of the mindset I was having for my first compared to those last two. Because during the last 2 exams, even though I was so scared that the same thing was gonna happen, I tried to change a bit about the talk I gave myself before the exams. And instead of letting my mind ruminate about future events and blaming me for past events, I decided to focus on the present, on what I could do now. The future is outside my control, and the past will continue to remain unchanged.
So, I have something special for today's dinner. It's a very girl dinner, I must say.
The present, however, is right in front of me. And that's something I've realized that overthinking does. It makes us forget to live in the present, to enjoy the small moments in life, like talking to my parents every night, or getting to enjoy my favorite yogurt. We don't realize it now, but those little moments always can make your day a better day. And we don't need to wait to make those moments happen for us. The choice of letting our minds control and dictate our feelings is something we can make every day. We can either choose to be stuck in the past or get anxious about what can happen, but we can also choose to live in the moment, to appreciate the small things that are occurring right in front of us. We get stressed about the things that we cannot control, but we forget that there's so much we can actually control. But all that we can control is in the present. It's not in the past, and it's not in the future.
We made a quick lunch because I couldn't go out and get a product that I wanted to get, like a sandwich thing. They run out of it. But anyways, let's enjoy our lunch. Tofu is always good.
We have to learn to go with the flow, to respond to the problems as much as we can right now, instead of trying to push them for future us to solve. Instead of letting them have power over us by letting them take away the joy of the now. I feel like somehow overthinking stuff is praised. Like if someone has knowledge about all the potential things that can happen in a given situation, somehow everyone around them thinks they're better prepared, that they're more mature, that they have their life more together somehow. But in reality, those of us who overthink, something that we don't realize is that the more we are stuck in our mind, the less prepared we are to confront future problems that might arise.
We can do this. Last exam.
Guys, I just finished my last exam. Not counting the group project, I finished all my exams. But now I have to go pick up something. I just finished. Crazy. Anyways, I have to hurry, but we're gonna have some very deserving lunch. But like, oh my god, I can't believe it. I finished on Friday, last day of the month. Oh my god, I'm so happy. Oh, so relieved. How did it go? I mean, it went, okay? I did something, I believe it. Talking too much, and I need to hurry. Coincidentally, my last exam was also like my first exam on the last day of the month. And the day before, I was very overwhelmed because my brain kept bringing up the scenario that happened for the first exam and somehow connecting the two events, telling me that exactly the same thing was gonna happen. But what I did differently this time is deciding to silence those thoughts.
And we made it back, and now I'm hungry. I'm wondering because I'm craving something refreshing. We're just gonna relax now, finally, after a very long day. Today's been a good day because we made it a good day. Anyways, let's enjoy this while we watch some YouTube. If you know, I'm obsessed with watching YouTube. Comment down below what your last exam was and how it went. I wanna know if you had exams. Let's enjoy.
Exam season is already stressful for all of us, so why let our minds add to that? Why let our negative self-talk add more anxiety to the whole thing? While exam season will never be without its stress, without its overthinking. We have to stop letting those thoughts control the outcome. We have to stop letting our minds not appreciate the small things that we can do every day.
This is very good. I really like the hummus.
We have to start enjoying the now. Of course, it's okay to plan ahead sometimes, but we don't have to be rigid about it. It's okay to have some structure in place, but we don't have to be buildings set in stone. Instead, we should aim to be trees, allowing the branches and the leaves to flow with the wind, to adapt to what is happening right now. Because life is always changing. No days are the same. And the more you embrace the now, the more you can start embracing yourself.